Hey guys, today in SAO Integral Factor, we're going to test the Enjoy Vacation Silica skill. So this skill has two effects. The first one is the Gale Rage, which increases the additional damage by 10 times of your level. And this is quite straightforward, so we're just gonna take a look into it a little bit. But more importantly, we're going to look into the bonus, which has the description that attack power increase according to the remaining HP, and increases as the HP decreases up to 50% and 100% when switch is activated. Before we begin though, please like, share and subscribe for more SAO Integral Factor content. So to begin with, I'm going to show you my build. So I'm using the Enjoy Vacation Silica on switch so that we can test both the normal attack and the switch. And on the passive, I just use any passive that does not have a attack increase. So all of these three passives here are just increasing resistance, and the fourth one is to make the critical rate at 0 so that it's easier to test. So first, let's take a look into the Gale Rage 4 skills there, the one that increased the additional damage based on the level. So I'm just going to show you what my normal attack is doing before the skills and after the skills. So you can see there, before it was like 600 something, but now it becomes 1732. So it's increasing a little bit more than I expected, because I'm at level 99 and it's supposed to increase 990, and that is because of this first skill that on the weapon proficiency that increased the damage on a normal attack by 10%. So I turned that off, and I turned off like all the other skills that would affect my testing as well. So if you know that in SAO Integral Factor, the additional attack damage will be multiplied by whatever percentage increase. In this case, we have that 10% increase on a normal attack. So I turned that off, and let's try it again on the same monsters. So on this wasp is my monster of choice because it's not weak to slash. So right now, as you can see, normal attack is doing around 620 maybe, or 610. And when I use the skill, now my attack become 1600 ish. So I think it's about right there, increasing by 990. And if I use it against the boar, which is weak to slash, you can see my attack is around 700. And if I use the skill, I forgot to mention that the skill will disappear if you take a damage. So in this situation, as you can see, I have the buff and I'm taking a damage, and my buff disappear. So my attack now is going back to normal without the buffs. So let's try it again. So as you can see, it's still at 700-ish. And I use the skill, and now it increased to 2200, and I got hit again and it goes back to normal. So it's around 2210. As you can see, it increases around 1490 from the skills before I use the Enjoy Vacation Silica. So if you remember from my previous video, as I will link in the description below, you will know that additional damage got increased based on the effect of the weapon weakness. So in this case, now we're going to test the damage on the Enjoy Vacation Silica at 100% HP. So on switch, as you can see, it's doing 14,400 damage, and if I use it on normal attack, it's doing 11,806. So we will try it with the low HP, because this skill has an effect that if my HP is low, it will do more damage, or it will increase the attack. That's what the description says. But how much is it? So you can see, using the same skill, if my HP is at 263, it's doing 16,000 damage, over 16,000 damage. And with my switch, it's doing 24,200. My switch attack is doing 14,000 damage, and now it was doing 24,000, so it's increasing by 10,000 damage. and the normal attack is doing 16,000, and before it was around 12,000, so it's about 4,000 damage increase. So let's try that on the board that's weak to slash and earth, which is the element of the skills. So on the normal attack, let's see, it's doing 32,382 with a low HP, and that's a pretty big damage just for a normal attack, and considering that my stat is just using a useless passives there. So we'll try it one more time just to make sure the damage stays the same, and it's still the same, 33,427. So I'm just gonna fill up my switch gauge, and now we'll take a look at the switch damage with these skills. So the switch damage is now doing 49,000, and that is a 16,000 damage increase from the skill when we use it not on switch versus when we use it with the switch. So that's a huge amount of increase. So now I'm going to put my my health back, my HP back to 100%, and we'll try it again against the board, which has the double weakness, and see what is the damage we're doing without the bonus effect. So with the normal skill, with the skill not on switch, it's doing 24,000 damage, and I'm going to fill up the switch gauge while we're waiting for the cooldown. Let's try it again, except that I got hit, so let me just heal up again pretty quickly. And there's a mushroom nearby. Okay, going back again. Let's show you that the damage for when we use it without the switch is hitting at 24,343, so it's similar to before. It's doing around 24,000 damage, and now let's try it with switch. It's doing 28,799. Now if you compare it with the low HP one, it's doing 49,000, so it's around 20,000 damage increase from before, just from lowering the HP to near death. So let's do a little bit more detailed test and see on how much attack do we need to increase in order to get the same amount of damage that we got on the low HP. So in this test, I'm setting the set 2 on my dagger skills with increasing the attack to 2,728. So if you remember before, my attack was at 1,948, so it increases about 780 points, almost 800 points, and we'll see if that is enough for us to get the same amount of damage as if when the HP is set to be a very low. So we'll do the same test against the same monsters. I'll do the one that is not weak first. And it's doing 16,753. So it's almost the same amount of damage with the one that we have on the lower HP when our attack is at 1948. And with one more, I guess that one is hitting a critical, so it doesn't really count. So let's test it out on the switch damage. But the switch damage is not going to be the same, because as the skill description says, the switch damage will be increased by 100%, so it means then double the amount of attack increased. Okay, let's try out on the switch, and let me just kite this monster away from the group so you can get a better view. So as you can see here, it's at 19,243. So if I remember correctly, before it was at 24,000. So one more time, the normal skill is 16,747. So I think that's pretty close to what we get to when the HP is at a very low. So let's try it out on the board, which is weak to slash and earth this time. I see we got the same results. So 32,545. So before it was around 33,000 as well. So this thing is quite a match as it was before on the enemy that's weak to slash and earth as well. He's gonna heal up since I got hit again. So as you can see, this time it's 33,000. I think we can be sure that we need to increase the attack at least by 780 points, or maybe we can say 800 points to achieve the same results as when we have a low HP. So the switch damage is at 38,000, and before when we have a low HP it was at 49,000. So it means that on switch you'll need to increase 1600 attack. To summarize, the Enjoy Vacation Silica skill is a very good skill, especially if you are good with avoiding hit. The first skill effect is very good at increasing the normal damage, especially since dagger is a very fast weapon. You can get a great boost on DPS just from the normal attack while using the skill. The bonus effect makes it an outstanding skill while used in low HP scenario. From what you can see in the test, the skill damage increase is equivalent to when you raise our attack by 800 points, and the damage on switch is probably equals to when we raise the attack to 1600 points. That's it for the video. I'll see you next time on the next SAO Integral Factor video. Bye now!